Well, hello everyone, welcome to the Charles Cost Show. We specialise in archaeology. If you want archaeology, if you want the truth, if you want what's really going on behind the scenes, if you want the really weird, hey, you've come to the right place. So welcome to my show. Yes, got my own show. Oh yes. Hey, we've got quite a show lined up for you today. Guess what? It is all about part 3 of this spiral energy pyramid stuff. Don't forget my book, Confessions of the Gods. Woo! 36 bucks US. I will send you anywhere in the world a autographed copy, or 21 bucks US on Amazon. It's on European Amazon, on British Amazon, and everything. This is the book that changes the world. If you don't want the paper one, it's only 3 bucks because I want it out there on Kindle. If you don't have a Kindle, you buy it anyway, you get an app, you can watch it on any device. How good is that? I can't make it any more accessible than that. So, the Confessions of the Gods, there you go. The gods are confessing. Okay, the ancient gods 60,000 years ago, the ancient battles in the sky, nuclear war of Anunnaki versus Nephilim. Also, we're going to see the reappearance of a 60s TV detective about halfway through the program who has decided to invade my privacy and someone else's privacy as well. Right, let's get started with the first segment. We're going to talk about Tesla. We're going to sum up what we've been saying in the past 3 episodes. We're going to talk a little bit about William Reich. We're going to talk about the energy coming out of the apex of the Great Pyramid and what's going on in Egypt. And this was built by pre-Egypt. They had a science going in an alternate direction to what we have today. It's absolutely unbelievable. Woo!
Okay, we are continuing from part 2, in which we said that we talked about crop circles as consciousness manifesting, a fundamental type of consciousness pulling through, being beamed from the universe. It is then channeled to the central sun inside the earth, and it is beamed out from a chakra point, and it forms in geomagnetic interaction with crop fields. And pyramids are linked to this, also being built on chakras, as well as great hills and mounds where people feel strange energies and feel strange enlightenment and messages and ideas because they're channeling the universe. Now, the original ancient Egyptians were very good at mental chemistry, another form of alchemy, which is about manifesting objects. Now, William Reich noted that looking up through a long tube at the clouds dissolved them, or drained their orgon, as he called it, towards the ground, basically their chi, and this was a mental activator for the process. As Andrew Collins points out, Trevor James Constable, however, noticed that you don't need a tube to do it. Clouds are always dissolving anyway, but Constable believed the process could be increased by concentration. But this is really about collapsing the wave function, allowing something to occur quantum mechanically because you simply don't want it to. For instance, rain after a battle. To make everyone even more uncomfortable is the last thing anyone would want. Yet, people noticed in the Middle Ages that there was always a great downpour following a battle. Were the clouds simply drained of orgon and burst, causing the downpours, by the mental energy of the knights, or perhaps the pressure change over the day actually caused the generals to become moody, freak out, and instigate war? Maybe that was it. I guess there are lots of explanations, but for sure there is more than one. It could be that orgon energy is being continuously drained from the countryside into mountains, lakes, or other sacred sites, which are also high voltage areas, draining the earth or taking current back into the earth. These places are usually haunted because this association with electrical energy humming away, to which we are oblivious, instead commenting that such places feel haunted. The Giza Plateau is simply another Vaval chakra, and the pyramid is interacting somehow with the sky. Proof that this is not all a bunch of nonsense is that the ancient Chinese actually wrote books on how to lay out the landscape so that bad energy could flow away and good energy, qi, could enter, doing landscape architecture on a truly epic scale, such as we see at Glastonbury with hill after hill lined in geometrical alignments. They claim that water conducts chi and is used to accumulate it. In fact, the entirety of Feng Shui seems to be about working with the natural directions of voltages or other forces. Hills, waterfalls and lakes, all of which are sacred sites, collect qi and streams disperse it. In other words, the energy is always draining into the earth from the sky, or into the sky from the earth. And the fair weather current, as it is called, between the ground and the upper atmosphere, is said to be 300,000 volts of potential difference. Well, we have touched on so much, but it seems there was an ancient understanding of this science, now lost to us. And I have to add, as a finale, that when people do talk about this science, people like Wilhelm Reich, they get jumped on. They get jumped on.
Well, I don't know about you, but I found that super interesting. Now, we have a next segment by, it's that guy again. I don't know what he's doing here, but yeah, here we go.
Oh, hi. Now, sir, I just got a lot of questions to ask you. Now, I just can't put those two pieces together, sir. So I'm just... Oh, you're with your aunt in Louisiana. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't... No, I'm sorry to disturb you here. You're watching the softball game with your family. I understand, sir. I just want to apologize. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. One more thing, sir. You said you watch the YouTube sometimes. You know, there's a really great show on the YouTubes called the Charles Cos Program. And I watch that all the time. And it's actually my wife. She's a huge fan, sir. She put me onto this. And I've been watching a few episodes, and he talks about some Egyptian tomb structure or something, sir. And I find that fascinating. So if you were watching that, I would totally understand. A man of your status and position, sir. I would totally understand. What I wanted to ask you, sir, you said you were with your aunt on the 30th, but you couldn't have been with your aunt because your aunt was in Louisiana. And you were in Wisconsin, sir. So do you see how that might not... It was the other aunt. Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you again. I'm going to get back to my investigation. I'll let you know if there's anything further. Thank you, sir. If you watch the Charles Cos show, I'm going to forget about it. I'm going to forget about everything, and I'm also going to forget about those library tickets and those parking fines, sir. Okay. So we'll call it even. Okay, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you very much, Lieutenant Colombo. I'm not quite sure how you managed to slither your way back in here after I kicked you out last time for asking too many questions. But anyway, now I've changed the lock, so hopefully he won't be back. Now, it is time for our next segment, What Do You Know? Woo, I'm excited. It's time for What Do You Know? And what do you know? Do you know that a 4,000-year-old urn has been discovered in England, April the 18th, Cornwall, England? BBC reports that the intact collared urn, flint tools, additional piece of pottery were found under just 10 inches of dirt in a Bronze Age burial mound overlooking the English Channel in southwestern England. I'm just reading archaeology.org. And one of the archaeologists has said, and this is 4,000 years old, it's a miracle a plough has never hit it, said archaeologist Catherine Fryman of Australian National University. And they discovered this burial mound with a geophysical survey of the ground. Now, I have to tell you now. I'll tell you why it's a miracle that the plough's never hit it. It's because it's never been ploughed up in that area before, because until the 20th century, farmers did not dare disturb these mounds. This was sacrilege. And this was also superstition, because they could have brought a curse on themselves and their family. Those little people of the past would have struck them down. and cursed them for the rest of their lives. In Ireland, they still believe in this. If you talk to Irish people in the countryside, lots of them won't even go to the ancient sites nearby. They don't dare go there because of what their parents told them would happen. So that's why the plough has never struck it. And now even better news from Glastonbury. So a lot of English news today. This is unbelievable, and this is all the way back in March. So March 23rd, 2018, but I haven't discussed this yet. Glastonbury, archaeology is revealing new truths about the origin of British Christianity. And I'll tell you why it's important. They have found a building which is possibly pre-Saxon at Glastonbury. So finally, there is some more archaeological proof that Glastonbury goes back to the Roman times, possibly back to Christ. Because wasn't it the great English author William Blake who said, "And if those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen," that poem from 1804. And that is just incredible, because what he was doing was relating an ancient myth that Jesus, and this is a myth from Cornwall, that Jesus was a tin trader in his early days and he visited Cornwall. Later on his family may have settled in England. Joseph Arimathea may have settled in England. And the earliest chapel was a Wattle chapel. It was actually a guy called Bligh Bond in the early part of the 20th century who actually set up many of the landmarks that are there today. For example, he said this is King Arthur's grave. King Arthur's grave is now on the grass. You will go to Glastonbury, it's the most beautiful town in the world, so much there, but you go to the Abbey. Unfortunately, you have to pay to get in, unlike so many ruined abbeys in Ireland. You just walk in, there's a few cows, but this one, yeah, you got to pay to get in, unfortunately, but you can sit where King Arthur's grave was, which was in the middle of the huge cathedral demolished by Henry VIII. There's even, Bligh Bond even showed where Joseph of Arimathea's Wattle Church may have been. And, you know, he started digging in, I think it was 1907, but it wasn't until 1917 that he said, "Oh, by the way, the reason I knew where to dig was that I was in psychic communication with a medieval monk who told me all this." And the Church of England was so horrified by this revelation that they said, "You're fired." That's right, they fired him. And he couldn't work there anymore. So he thought they were open-minded enough. They knew they weren't. I mean, yeah, fair enough. You can't have someone possibly saying such things. Yes, bad. Anyway, historical accounts do describe an ancient church on the site which was being maintained by the Saxons in the 10th century, that is the 900s. It was still standing in the 1100s, which is the Norman period, but after that it was just vanished. English historian William of Malmsbury, now he is in the Norman era, the 1100s, said, "This church is the oldest of all those I know of in England." So it could have been it could have been a Roman church. I believe it would have been Roman. And there's a picture here, they've shown some kind of barn. I don't think that looks like a church at all. I don't think it's anything like it. It would have been just a nice Roman building. Sort of like you have at Bradford-on-Avon, which must be late Roman. They say it's very early Saxon. I think it's Roman as well. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, I just love Glastonbury. It's the best city in England for spiritual archaeology. I advise anyone to go there. Look at the massive earthworks on the hill. That hill is unbelievable. Those Glastonbury hills, many of them are artificially carved. It's unbelievable. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this segment. It's been a fun day today. Please join me next time for another episode of the Charles Cost Show. We are making huge strides in archaeology. I do love that people are watching this. I love doing this. I love doing it. I'm going to do it full time, all the time. I'm going to do this all the time. It hardly pays anything. I don't care. But I do have a Patreon, so if you want to help out, please do. Check that out. And God bless. And see you all next time. Woo! Hi everyone. Oh my god, there's even more. Now, I am sounding you guys out because I'm looking for ways to monetize this channel. So I am in the self-help industry, I really am. So I am wondering if you guys are interested in a subscription course that can change your life. For example, we do not yet have in our possession, in our knowledge, the full availability of the corpus of information possessed by the ancient Egyptians to build the Great Pyramid. What on earth am I talking about? I am saying that the Egyptians were in a different paradigm, the pre-Egyptians a different state of mind. This is retained in the Hermetic corpus. You can get it from reading that. If you have read that and yet don't understand it, I am proposing an online course which people can subscribe to, you know, for a token amount of money. So tell me in the comments if you would be interested, what you would want to in that course and how you would want that to change your life. I can already talk about eliminating insecurities, eliminating all of this kind of nonsense, because once we realize we have a direct connection with the universe and how to exploit that connection, I am passionate about that, and part of my overall channel is about improving archaeology, so why not use that to improve people too, if what the ancient Egyptians knew. So I'm passionate about doing this, creating an online course. If you're interested, tell me what you want in it and what you want to get out of it, because I promise you, after you have finished the course, I want you to be at a new permanent plateau, which will be impossible to step back down from. You're going to be at a new level, okay? So that's what I want to do. Let's talk about it in the comments. Cheers.